Hi everyone, it's me, Erin. Hope this video finds you in good spirits. And yeah, I just finished watching Netflix series 13 Reasons Why. 2 years ago, I read the book after my cousin Jimmy had recommended it to me. And it was a really good book. As for the show, I really liked the show. It was much more detailed and it had more stuff into it, and you actually get to see the main character's parents. Hannah Baker is the main character. Well, the main character is Clay Jensen, but it's about Hannah Baker who makes these tapes, and it's 13 reasons why she killed herself, basically. Hence the title of the show, right? 13 Reasons Why. Anyways, it got me thinking about my high school experience. I have been out of high school going on 12 years now. And I know it's a decade, but it's not like, 25 years, you're out of high school, yada, yada, yada. But I really it resonated with me because I started high school in 2001, late August of 2001, and about 2 weeks into my freshman year of high school, the September 11th attacks happened. So, our school became very patriotic, like every other school across the United States. And I had my friends, I had my cliques from middle school, friends that, the friends that you meet when you're 12 years old, and you're learning how to build friendships, make relationships, and just laugh and have a good time. I had them, and it was going good. It was great. I mean, I still had them a part of my life, even though we didn't have every single class together like we did in middle school, practically. Except me, I was the outcast because I had learning disability. So I was put in a lot of special education classes. Which, before you think that I'm a retard, as people say, which is horrible, horrible description, um, special education classes are more difficult. Or more difficult? Yeah, that sounds about right. Are much more difficult because they expect you to work harder than the AP kids. So I was the outcast in that part of my group. But they never let me feel that way. And then my sophomore year of high school happened. And high school was split up in two things. You had your first semester and then you had your second semester. And my first semester was going okay. And then during Christmas break, I woke up one day and I just felt this heavy burden on me. And I closed in. And a lot of my middle school friends by that time had walked away. They said they could not deal with my drama. They couldn't deal with my emotional instability. And it was heartbreaking. And I turned inward and I turned to the internet. And I met a lot of people. And I talked to a lot of people. And I didn't have friends that came over a whole lot. I relied on myself to find comfort, I guess. Because having friends, you want to find comfort. And when you're feeling down, I didn't have that grasp. And it affected the rest of my high school year, my high school career. I did have some close friends during that time. I mean, I did have a boyfriend and I had close friends, but they always left me. One got held back, so she really didn't want to be friends with me anymore. We lost touch. It was kind of a mutual thing. It could also be that I knew that her boyfriend was breaking up with her because he called me to tell me that he had mailed her a letter, even though he lived in the town over. So I couldn't tell her, and he broke up with her on a Friday, and that Sunday my boyfriend broke up with me, and by Wednesday they were dry humping each other. So yeah, that friendship didn't end so well. And then I had another close friendship, and the girl lived with us for a while. And our senior year, we had a meeting, and we got into an argument in front of the whole school. And she called me a dirty dyke, and that one teacher moved. And I was really stupid, but I called her I'd rather be a dirty dyke than a spick mutt. Oh yeah, the teacher started moving then, which made no fucking sense, if you ask me. But, and then I thought, I had such a hard time in high school because I wasn't really living in my brother's shadow as I was much living in my cousin Ashley's shadow. Because she was a junior when I started high school, so I was living in her shadow. And it was kind of depressing. Kind of depressing. It was extremely depressing. And then I had other personal issues like my parents splitting up, my dad's drinking, my brother moving out, me coming out as bisexual. A lot happened in high school. And when I graduated high school and decided to move away for college, because I had chose to go to college with my best friend at the time before we had the senior meeting fight, I thought I was going to get a new start. Like, I can make new friends, I can let go of this dark shadow that I had on me. That lasted about a week. And then the roommates that I had were horrible. I was the oldest out of all of them, and they treated me like their slave. They kept going to the RA. I got put on probation. I lost it one time. I got dismissed from housing, and then I got moved out and put into a townhouse a mile down the road. Things looked up after that. But what 13 Reasons why it resonated with me is because they all thought Hannah was overdramatic and just emotional. And in the show, she is raped by one of the characters. Spoiler alert, sorry. She's raped by one of the characters. And she doesn't tell anyone except on these tapes, and then, she ends up killing herself. When I was 13 years old, I was in 7th grade. And there was a high school guy who I just thought, oh, he's kind of cute. He was a freshman in high school. And he forced me to give him oral sex. I only told one person. And that person ended up dating him for a year and a half. And bringing him to family functions. My grandparents' 50th anniversary. Christmas. It was hard to look at the guy that forced you to give oral sex to, and I have to make nice because we couldn't upset that part of the family. That was hard. That was extremely hard. And this year, actually, I finally broke down and told my grandma about him. She started crying. She says, if I knew, I would not have let that boy in my house. But the person that decided to date them knew. So that part kind of resonated with me. High school isn't easy by any means. Because you're trying to find your footing. You're trying to learn what boundaries you can push. You're trying to find your identity. And you're trying to live up to your parents' expectations. But, like I said, I've been out of high school for 12 years. And even though it really sucks right now, and you think the world is ending, it will get better. It won't be, rainbows and sunshine and flowers, but life does get better. I have my bad days and I have my good days. Sometimes my good days outweigh my bad, and vice versa. But it does get better. So, I recommend you guys all to go watch 13 Reasons Why and reflect on how you are to people. Do you treat them nice? Do you treat them with dignity? And are you kind to them? Bye.